Hello everybody and a very warm welcome to Crafters TV. My name's Ben Moseby. Thanks for joining us. It is our middle offering of the day and it's Friday, of course. Yes, the weekend is within touching distance. Hopefully you've got something good lined up, lots to look forward to. Let me know in the comments your plans, weekend plans, whether they be crafty or not. Maybe you're at work, maybe you're going to be tuning into our new weekend offerings. Don't forget, it all starts tomorrow. We've got a craft along with George and Debbie tomorrow. That is going to be midday UK time. And then following that at 2 o'clock, we have got the first ever Make It Saturday show. Bit of a different show, if you like, because there's going to be lots of craft in it, obviously, but there will be some great deals. I don't want to give away too much. There will be crafting on the hoof. There will be sit-down chats. There's going to be a craft clinic, and for the first show tomorrow as well, special guest Sarah will be popping in, chatting all things International Women's Day. So that's going to be amazing tomorrow. And then, of course, on Sunday we bring back one of I think your favourite shows from times gone by. Second Chance Sunday is a pre-recorded offering with little old me. Going to be a good show. We count down the top 10 items of the week, and we give you the second chance to jump in and grab them. That's 5 o'clock UK time. It will be slightly different for you guys in the States because your clocks change, don't they? So that will be 1 o'clock Eastern. That will be 10 a.m. Pacific. But that's all to come. Today, as I say, Friday Night Live is coming up in just a little while. Colour Me Happy. We're going to be looking at the Illustrators because we touched on this morning on Wake Up Call. We've still got a few of the Illustrator bundle remaining, the beginner's bundle. And we've also got a brilliant deal on the 72-piece Illustrators as well. So lots to have a look at. I'm going to do a little bit of colouring as well. Just, you know, last time we did the Colour Me Happy, me and Craig, I'll introduce him to you in a second. It was just quite nice for me to like have a bit of a play as we went along. So I thought I would do that over the course of the next hour and a bit. Whilst your man over there is also colouring. He's already started the show. He's not even said hello yet. You're not starting a demo yet, have you? Or are you just having a play?
No, I'm just carrying on with where I left off earlier on. Yeah, I've had my jacket potato. I've had a little flick through TikTok, and now I've just come back and I'm just finishing off when it comes to filming.
Well, we'll get into some more with Craig in just a second. I'll say a few quick hellos. We've got Jan on the socials for this show. Hello, Jan. Betty Weaver, Georgia, saying hello from Idaho. Hello, Lois in Ohio. Karen Calden says good morning from Adelaide. It's actually the 8th here.
Good day,
yes.
mate.
You're You are ahead. How's Saturday going so far, Karen? Let us know. Trudy Bickham says, good morning, everyone. Hello, Trudy. Hello also to Mistress Dow, says, good afternoon, everyone. Hello. Hello to Mary Beth Doyle, who says, hi again from Minnesota. Hello. And Melanie D says, hello. Nicola is just saying she's really enjoying the sat down look. I mean, I am quite happy to sit down for all of the shows, if you like. This side, I would enjoy this.
I do it when I'm stepping in for you. I was
for the whole show?
yesterday. Yeah, well, only when I was on camera. When I'm not in camera, I just sit down, yeah.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, and then if I would, like yesterday, chatting away to Debbie yesterday, I would just do it sitting down.
Oh, so flipping like back and forth, you would just sat down?
Yeah, but when the camera came on me, I stood up.
Oh, right. So you're having to go, yeah. So, Debbie, what do you think of this?
Yeah.
Oh, Craig, I think this is really great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great to know, because I think it's great too. So you were just...
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I was just doing that, yeah.
Maybe I shall do that from now on then.
You should do, yeah. Gets the exercise in, up and down, up and down.
Doing your squats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hello to Hilary and Holly. Hello.
Woof. I said a wolf.
A wolf?
Yeah.
Karen says, my plan for the weekend is staying indoors with air conditioner on full blast.
Me too, but without the aircon.
Yeah. Might try and do some crafting and try and stay cool. And LL says, hi LL, hello LL from the farm near Philadelphia. What time are your shows over the weekend? Midday, UK time. So tomorrow, because your clocks change tomorrow night, don't they? So it's 7 a.m. Eastern, 4 a.m. Pacific, and then the second show tomorrow will be 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific, but then your clocks then go forward. So that means the Sunday show, which is 5 o'clock here in the UK, will be 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. And you've got a question for us as well, LL, which we'll ask Craig in just a second. And Cindy Conley says, this weekend prepping for my hubby's big birthday. Ooh, which big birthday? Let us know. Weekend plans, please, in the comments. We are going to have a look at the Illustrator beginner bundle. We're sort of just going to play things by ear in this show, really. We'll do a little bit of colouring, we'll have a bit of a chit chat, see how we go. The Illustrators beginner bundle though, £28 or $36, incredible value for money in the fact that you are going to be getting the Illustrator Essential Sketchings pens. So, and again, we'll talk to Craig all around these in the fact that, you know, if you're watching for the first time, maybe you're fairly new, you might not know about the Illustrators. So we'll talk about the fact that, you know, these are dual-ended, the different nibs that you've got here, the kind of pens these are, what you can use them on, how you can use them, but you get the 12 set of essential sketchings. Those are the colours that you are going to be receiving within this set. You get your fine nib one end and of course your Japanese brush nib the other. So already £28, $36 is great value, and you're going to be getting all these stamps included as well. So you're going to be getting the fairy stamps. This is from the Spring Fairy collection, Fairy of the Meadow. You're also going to be getting a cute little stamp and die set in there as well. That is the Oh Holy Night, Away in a Manger stamp and die. This stamp is from the Sheena Charmer, the C collection, which I know has been a huge hit this week. Very popular indeed. That is the Lighthouse Shine a Light. And then you're also going to be getting your Majestic Elephant from the Royal Jungle collection too. So all of that is included alongside your alcohol marker card. Nina, yes, of course, but as Craig brilliantly described earlier on, it's just so much easier now. We're calling it alcohol marker card, particularly for people perhaps who are new, get confused with what sort of card I'm supposed to use, where you've now got your watercolour card, you've got your alcohol marker card, and you've got your card. It's just called card, isn't it? Stamping card. But it makes it a lot easier to understand, you know, if you are fairly new, what you should be using where. You're going to receive that. You get 20 sheets in total within that bundle. £28 or $36 is the price for that. If you do want more of the Illustrators as well, we've got the 72-piece collection also on the show. Hi to Carol Garwood, be a good morning. Hi to Dahlia saying good morning, Ben and Craig. Happy Friday to you both.
Good morning.
Same to you. And Jeffrey Langley says top of the day, Ben and Craig and the great and fantastic CTV crew from a very windy day 50+ gust here in New Hampshire. Weekend plans, Hillary says, I need to prepare for my craft club on Monday and do some crafty stuff for myself. Let's get into this then. So Craig is currently colouring. I guess we can join him over there and see what exactly he is up to. And before I fire LL's question over, oh, by the way, any questions you've got in this show, feel free to ask. We will love to answer all of your questions. Craig, let's go back to basics again very quickly for people who are new. What are Illustrators? How do we use them? What are we going to use them on? What do we stamp with to colour with them? All those sort of questions, please.
Rightio. So your Illustrator pens, what we tend to say, we tend to familiarise ourselves with our alcohol pens being our tri-blends into our classic, into our Illustrator pens. So these ones are your incredible quality Illustrator pens, where for these, I like to think is these are really good to give you the movement in your images. So whether, of course, it's the movement of grass, maybe it's the pleats in a skirt, maybe it's, of course, the movement of the hair, of ladies' hair, whether, of course, it is, you know, maybe the fur on an animal, on a rabbit or a stag, or whatever it is that you're colouring in. Because we're going in with the flipping action, or the flicking action. What it's doing is it's then giving you that movement. We still start to build up that colour in the same way that you might already be familiar with when it comes to your tri-blends in your classics here. But what it is, it's just about really nice ease of movement, building up that colour in that blend. When it comes to the actual Illustrator pens, you will see that what you have got is more of a grey tone barrel within this one here. On one side, you have got your really fine bullet nib. So you can see that within that one there. And then on the opposite side, what you've got is your Japanese brush nib. Now your Japanese brush nib, Ben, is more expensive than the whole pen, the whole barrel, the chamber, the ink, the whole lot all together. That is how incredible that Japanese nib is. It is nice and it is flexible. And then if you do just want to lay down the colour direct, you can do, but it's just about that flicking action, building up that blend when it comes to said image. Now, as Ben touched upon there a moment ago, we've got our alcohol card stock. Now, same as Nina, it's just called alcohol card. That's the perfect one for your alcohol colouring. So whether, of course, it's the Tri-Blends, the Classics, or the Illustrator pen, we've got our alcohol card stock. But what you also want to be doing as well is you want to be using your alcohol-proof ink pads. Now, stock dependent, 4 that we do have within the range, the core range, is Noir Black, Flagstone, Pebble and Rustic Brown. You can use any of them whenever you want with any of the alcohol colours. However, what I tend to say is anything that's more nature, you're maybe going to be inclined to go with the Pebble or the Rustic Brown. Everything else, you're maybe going to be going with your Flagstone with Noir Black. Without contradicting myself, I do go with the Noir Black quite a lot. That's entirely up to yourself. Or of course, you can just use these to stamp your images if you want to, no problem whatsoever. But yeah, the basics of these ones is your alcohol-proof ink pad, and these will work for any branded alcohol pens. It doesn't just have to be Tri-Blend Classic or the Illustrator pens, but they are the 4 that we have within our range. And then it is as simple as stamping out said image and then just starting to then colour in. As we touched upon earlier on when it comes to Wake Up Call, it's about the way that you start to apply them. So if I bring in this bit of cardstock here, I'm going to go in with the 3-tone blend that you guys will be familiar with if you have used your Tri-Blends in your Classics. Now, I'm going to apply these in the exact same way as I would use my Tri-Blends. I like to go in and lay the light down first, kind of priming my card, giving me that base to start to build onto. Then I'll go in with the dark into the medium and finish off with, of course, that light. So if we were to, of course, take a stamped image, start to colour in, we're just going to go in with that flicking action. So we're just going in and we're just holding it nice and delicately and going in with the flicks.
So which one is that? HB1.
HB1, yeah. Not HBK, but HB1.
Do you know what? We're so alike. Earlier on when you were like, so I've got HB1, I've got HB2 here, I nearly said, have you got HBK? But I didn't.
You didn't,
and then you've done it in this show.
Heartbreak Kids.
I love you, man.
Heartbreak Kids, Shawn Michaels. So yeah, so this is where I would go in and prime my cardstock, so to say, go in with the base. Now, just to say, Lily might not necessarily do this, Debbie might not necessarily do this, Debbie Robinson might not necessarily do this. When it comes to alcohol colouring, there can be a few different ways, but the end result is the same. So just get familiar. I kind of always followed on the way that that I first learnt from Leanne. I like to then just lay that base down. But of course, you're going to find your way. The main thing is, if you are happy with that ended blend result, that's what matters.
Yeah.
We can only show you our way, we can only teach you our way and our knowledge, our education, but then it's entirely up to you. You might find it easier to use the Tri-Blends over the Classics or over the Illustrators. It's entirely up to yourself. This is the way that I like to go in with my Illustrators. So kind of gone in and primed my cardstock, so to speak, and then I can just go in and then I can then just start to add in that dark. So that dark will be wherever that dark shade would be on that image. I'm not going to go all the way along, but we're just going to go in, just starting with that flicking action. And then I'm going to go in with the mid-tone. Now, just like these being Tri-Blends, Ben, what I'm doing is I'm going to go in with that mid-tone, and I'm just crossing over ever so slightly from the dark into that light. So I've got my mid-tone, so I'm just then going to then blend that in, and that's why I like to go down with the light tone first. So I've now got an alcohol layer to start to blend into. So I'm just blending them in together, and then what I can do if I want to then go back and then just blend that out, which was that medium into that base, I can absolutely do that, starting to blend it in. If I wanted that a little bit lighter, just very lightly, I'm just blending that in. Remember what myself and Debbie were telling you yesterday? The lighter the colour, the more alcohol that's in it. So essentially, Ben, the HB1 the HB2 and the HB3, as well as the HBK, these are all the same purple.
Yeah.
They're exactly the same. The only difference is HB1 has more alcohol, HB2 has less alcohol than HB3 does. So it starts off with the same kind of, what's the word? Concentration.
Yeah.
And then it's the amount of alcohol it's in. The lighter the colour, the more the alcohol.
And the numbers, Ash, is not a stupid question. The numbers are obviously on the pen lids and they're on the back of the boxes as well. Now, if you're going for the Illustrators bundle, you'll get 12 pens in there. But for example, so I'm changing, because I'm going to do a bit of colouring, but I might have a go at colouring the stamp that you're doing, but do it in different colours. And I was looking at like the pinks and the red colours in here, and to find like the 3 blends of colour. So the CR colour. So I've noticed that CR1 is in the figure and portrait, and then CR3 and CR5 is in the essential sketching. So that would be my light, medium and dark across those 2 sets, wouldn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. It doesn't have to be, for instance, let's use HB, because I've got it here. You don't have to use HB1, HB2, HB3.
No.
You can if you want, depending on the range. You can if you want to. You can.
Come here, you.
Come go into
You
bench
can't
shot.
just walk through the studio like that, and then.
It's like, is there a beehive about, or has there been a murder?
There's been a murder.
It reminded me of that of Breaking Bad, if I'm being honest with you. Are you cooking? What are you doing
What are you
exactly?
doing?
I'm painting
Oh, well, no, you're
What are you
painting. What are you
painting?
painting?
something for Sarah shows.
Oh, he's painting something for Sarah shows. Well, try not to make a mess.
Or a noise?
Yeah. Well, actually, very good point. It is Colour Me Happy. Liam is doing some colouring of sorts, isn't he? So he's getting into the theme of things. Wow. Yeah. Anyway, Craig, yes, you were saying about the colours. So you don't have to go 1, 2, 3, do you? You can go 1, 3, 5, or you can go 2, 4, 6.
Who do we appreciate?
Yeah.
Liam. Yeah. So, rein that back in, Craig. HB1, HB2, HB3. Depending on the amount of the pens that you've got, you don't have to colour in 1, 2, 3. You could if you want to. If you have them, you could do HB1, HB3, and then HB5 if you want. That will still be your light, your medium, and your dark. So it just means that you're going to have a lot more of a darker intensity of blend if you do it that way. A lot of people will stick with the 1, 2, and the 3 because that gives you that gives you a softer blend. But if you want to, exactly the same, whereas you've got HB1, HB4, and then HB7 if you want. That would be really dark.
Yeah.
But yeah, absolutely. That is still technically a light, a medium, and dark, irrelevant of how high the number is. It's about it's about, do you have those amount of shades? And if you do, you can be as playful and as flexible as you want to. If you want to try and go really, really dark, you can. Let's also remember as well, you don't even need to do a 3-tone blend. If you just want to do a 2-tone blend, you can absolutely do that, no problem at all. So you could do HB1 and HB2, or you could do HB3, HB4.
And just to talk about that, the 2-tone blend, we're getting very technical here. So, you know, when you do a 3-tone blend, as you said, you know, there's the whole light, dark, medium, isn't there? How do you achieve the blend with 2 pens? What's the rule of thumb there?
So, really good question there. Well, I would still do, so let's take away HB3 here.
Right.
Let's just take HB1 and HB2.
Yeah.
So what I would do, Ben, is nothing really different. So let's just say our first one, I'm going in, priming my card, as I like to say.
lightest down first again, yeah?
Going in with that lightest one to start with.
Okay.
In there. And then what I would then do is go in with my second one. So we're going to go in, and then we're just going to then create our flicks there. And then all that I would do, but you can either stop there, or if you do want to then just lightly blend that back in, you can absolutely do. That's all you need to do to a 2-tone blend. If you wanted to add a little bit more depth, go back into it again.
With the darker.
With that darker, maybe just go over it just a few times, just to build that up. You can do that. And then you've got what's roughly there, but maybe like a 1, 2, and you've created a 3-tone blend from 2 pens. So you can do it, even if you don't have the full family of blends, you can still build up a blend, even just with 2 colours. And without completely complicating it, you've got your 3-tone blend, you can do your 2-tone blend, but you can still do a 4 or a 5 if you want to. When you're building up that blend, you're just maybe making each colour blend section a little bit smaller, and you're just blending up over 4 or 5 blends, should you wish.
Any more questions? Fire them in. Adrienne says, my weekend plans, including watching all the CTV shows. Thank you. Shazza Maynard says, good afternoon, Ben, Craig, and the team from cloudy, cold Torbados. That's unusual for Torbados. And Carol says, Craig, I did your new tutorial from yesterday, and I love it. I didn't have the same ink pads, but I love how it turned out, so thanks for sharing it.
You're very welcome.
Dahlia says, my weekend plans include the Share Show. The Share Show? And as in share, yeah.
As in share,
the
yeah.
Share Show.
And I'm walking on Memphis.
All I'm walking with my feet.
Yeah. You believe in life after love. That's more like Cilla Black, isn't it?
That was more like Cilla, actually. Surprise, surprise.
If you wanna know. The Shoop song.
Oh, yes. Not enough love and understanding. The Share Show and Dinner with Friends, as well as a day of crafting.
This is turning into a Share Show, isn't it?
Some sort of show. Victoria says, good afternoon, Ben and Craig. I love a bit of colouring. I need to get around to doing some soon. I'm going to miss the Sunday show, though. It's my daughter's 8th birthday.
Oh,
and we
you're
go
not
out for
missing much.
food and a movie after church. What do you say?
None.
What did he say then?
None.
What did he say then?
I said, you definitely don't want to miss that.
Well, I don't mind. If you want to miss Second Chance Sunday, you'll just miss out on your second chance to get all of the deals. And you'll miss some great, some brilliant, well, I've heard, brilliant demos with Craig, which are getting replayed. But, you know, that's fine. Not just me on Sunday. It's featuring Craig, Leanne, all sorts. Cindy says, hubby is 70 on Sunday. I'm way younger than he is. I know that. He's freaking out, but he's a very young 70, and we do go out running every morning and love to stay active. When I'm not crafting, I'm outdoors. Better save this show, says Carol, so I can rewatch. Good morning, Jen Shank. Happy Friday. Liz R says, hi, crafty friends. And Annie says, markers still intimidate me. I tend to use my pencils more. I need more practice. I do need to put on a playlist some weekend and just practice. Well, should we do some colouring? Can I borrow that? Have you got that stamp? Because I fancy trying to colour that in, as I say, in those reds.
Yeah, do you want to?
Yeah, I think I
Yes.
will.
Shall
Are
I
you going to
stamp it
carry
out?
on colouring yours?
Could you get me a couple of fresh sheets of our alcohol cardstock?
I certainly can, buddy.
Which, anyone that's just joined, remember our alcohol cardstock is our Nina cardstock.
Yeah.
But just to make it very, very easy for everyone, we've named it Alcohol Marker Cardstock, because that's what it is. So we've got our alcohol card, watercolour card, and our card. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Do you want to stamp it out, or will I stamp it out?
You stamp it if you want.
Will I stamp it?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it then.
stamp
Let's
it.
bring
I'll bring
our
you your-
stamping platform.
I'll bring you your doodah back. Hang on.
Okay, doke. Now, when it comes to what we were talking about beforehand, we are going to use
Can you
our...
stamp it twice for me?
Stamp it twice.
Well, so then I've got, you know, if I muck it up, I've got another one.
Ah, so you've got another one. Yeah, of course
Or
I
if I'm
can.
not happy, you know, because I'm... No, I don't think I will, but I'm a bit of a perfectionist, you know.
I'm thinking back to what we'd done just before Christmas.
Yeah.
Within a colouring show we done.
Yeah.
You done very, very well.
Yeah, I enjoy it. Do you know what? As I say, though, Craig, I know people do get intimidated. I just try and have fun with it. And if it looks good, brilliant. If it doesn't look brilliant, it's just a piece of card, start again, isn't it?
Well, that's exactly my point where I was saying, you know, depending whether you follow my way or Debbie's way, Leanne's way, at the end of the day, if you are happy with that blend that you've got, then that is all that matters. So I'm going to go in and then let's just pop that down.
And I think, like with anything, the more you do it, the happier you're going to get, the more you're going to find, I like the way you put that, your way of doing it.
Exactly.
You know, you can try Craig's way, try Debbie's way, try Lily's way.
He did it Craig's way. So yeah, the time is near,
And so Craig faces
the final curtain.
my friends. He'll state his case.
I'll be in tears in a moment.
Certain.
So let's go in.
Colouring another flower.
With
His
press
illustrators.
down.
But more, much more than this, he coloured it his way.
That was beautiful.
Thanks.
That was good. I love a bit of Sinatra.
Oh yeah, can't beat it.
Yeah. Start spreading the news.
news.
I'll be there soon.
Yeah.
Yep,
You're leaving in June, aren't you?
I am indeed.
Because you want to be a part of it.
Big part of it.
New York, New York. I mean, he's not leaving in June. He's leaving for New York in June.
In June.
And never, ever... No, he is coming back.
Well, you never know.
Well, yeah, you never know. You might say that, mightn't you?
I might stay. I might fall in love
Yeah, with the Big Apple.
with the Big Apple. Well, I've already fallen in love with the Big Apple. I don't know. Maybe might find a tour guide and might fall in love with her and stay there.
I don't.
You want me to come back?
Yeah.
Could bring her back with me.
What happens if she doesn't? What happens if she didn't want to come back? Because you go, oh, I live in this really cool place.
It's called Spennymoor
Yeah.
or New York City, Manhattan.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. For anyone who's watching from Spennymoor, I quite like Spennymoor. I go park running there, but Spennymoor or New York.
Yeah, the part you go running is different to the centre of Spenny.
Is it?
Like, let's be honest, and you know, people go, God, he's saying that about Spennymoor. It's not even his hometown. You know, around my hometown, like, no offence to anyone, it's like Arbroath and what have you, but you know, it's not nice. We all have towns that. Yeah, let's just stop digging, Craig.
I live in a beautiful little village anyway.
Where I live in Spennymoor's brilliant. It's
It
beautiful.
is. Yeah.
I like it.
Thank you.
It's really, really nice.
No, it's
You happy with
beautiful.
them?
There was Torbados, eh, Shazza? Brixham, come on.
New York, come on, jeez.
Thank you. So I'll just
You're
go
very
and have a play
welcome.
with those.
You
then.
go and have a little bit of a colour. Have you got a bit of cardstock there for you to
Underneath.
colour over?
I
Good.
have.
Excellent.
Excellent.
So I'm going to do the same. I know I've already got to a point of near. I've cut that the wrong way. Never mind.
What are you colouring now? That stamp again?
I'm going to restamp that stamp, and let's change colour. We'll go and we'll look for some reds. Do some colouring with a red. And I just want to make sure it's semi-central.
And the other thing, just to say, and I know we've not really talked about this in this show, but we do cover it. If you just want to use these pen by pen, you don't have to do all of the blending. What I'm saying is, if
Not
you
at
just
all.
like the look of these, you like the feel of the brush nib, you can just use them as one colour.
Of course you can,
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah. At the end of the day, they are alcohol markers. So yeah, you can do that, lay them down one colour if you want to, without doing any blends, no problem. And also, you can still, it might be a little bit more difficult, but you can still colour like your ribbon and that. You just need to keep in mind, because the nib's flexible, you're
Yes.
maybe not necessarily going to get a really, really strong coverage.
And it is really, because I used these for the first time, I think it was with that show with you actually, and you can't believe until you use them just how light of a touch you get
That's
with
it.
the brush nib. It's super light, isn't it?
Super, super light. Really, really is. Very, very light. And it's amazing how much depth that you get. Right, let's have a look. I don't know why I'm looking at them. They're aqua pens. Don't want my aqua pens. That's not going to work. Let's go in. Right, so prime example. If I go in with the reds, Ben,
Yeah.
but instead of starting at DR1 and do DR1, 2 and 3, I'm going to start at DR2, so it's going to be DR2, 3 and 4.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start my blend. Now that formation, I'm still going to lay that down exactly the same as I done as the lilacs. Just because it starts at 2, the application is no different whatsoever. It's just 2's your lightest, 3's your medium, and then 4's going to be the darkest tone. Or, let's say with the reds, what I could do to really make it dimensional and really create drama, if I take out the 4, I could go 6. So I could go DR2, DR3, up to DR6. Still a 3-tone blend, but we're going really, really light in comparison to the dark. So it is just about, what I'm trying to get through is, if you are going to be sticking with a 3-tone blend that most of us do, as long as you've got a light, a medium and a dark within the code numbers, then you can absolutely do it in any formation that you want. But I'm going to stick with the 2, 3 and 4. Let me just get my stool in. So let's lay these ones down. So I start with the 2. So I'm going to go in, actually this time what I'm going to do, because if I bring this in, that if you didn't see Wake Up Call, certainly with this stamp here, for anyone that is going to be asking that didn't see Wake Up Call, this stamp was in stock up to last night into the springtime sale, and I've come in this morning, gone. It has gone.
You're to blame.
I'm to blame. Now, this stamp's great because it gives you the highlight lines. So where you've got those dark lines is where it's going to be deep in colour. But notice within this one, I actually done it in reverse. I've actually done the darkness around the tip of the petal, and where the darkness is going to be light. It looks really, really quite dramatic by doing it that reverse way. But let's stick to the way that it's intended here. So I'm just going to go in with my light tone to start with.
Okay.
And I'm just going to then start to create my flicking action in that kind of direction of the petal. And then if I find it difficult to come all the way further up, I can then just extend that. For this, I'm just going to do your smaller little kind of flicks up to there. Then I'm going to go into DR4, which is my darkest. And then I'm going to come down into that base where that dark shadow is with that petal within that stamp design. So I'm just going to then
there's a question that's come through. Can I just say, by the way, look at that. I'm really happy with that first. I know you haven't got an over it, but I'm happy. Look at that leaf I've done. That's
Ben, that is brilliant.
That's all right, isn't it?
That is brilliant.
Yeah.
Well done.
Petal by petal. That's the other thing to say, isn't it? Again, I love a few. Section by section,
alcohol,
isn't it?
Yes.
And don't try and do the whole thing.
No.
Because the alcohol will obviously dry, won't it?
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
So don't colour the whole petal, just do it in that section by section, as Ben said, individual petal at a time. Then that means then you're still working in with, of course, the alcohol.
Yeah.
You're able to then get that blend because the alcohol is still fresh, it's not evaporated. Whereas if you colour the whole lot to start with the light, and then do it shade by shade, the alcohol's going to evaporate, and then therefore it's very, very hard to do that blend.
The question, I think, is it from Mistress Dow, did you see, Nicola? Yeah. She says, I have the Illustrator blender pen. Could you please, Craig, I don't know if we got this, show us the application of this or talk us around the blender pen? What does that
do? I could have a little look there. The blender pen is good if you've got little mistakes.
Right.
You don't cut, I will just show you just shortly, but yeah, you're not going to then colour over your mistake. What you kind of do is you're pushing it back in to the actual image. Or if you do struggle with getting a blend, if you're not quite happy, you can go over it with the blender pen. The blender pen is just basically pure alcohol. Right. Now, I don't mean alcohol that you would then pop your lemonade in or your Coca-Cola. I don't mean that alcohol. I just mean blending solution alcohol. There's no colour in it. Right. So that is enabling to help you blend out. So that's what that is. But yeah, we shall have a look at that one just shortly. Okay. I'm just going to then just add a wee bit more depth.
Few more comments. Afternoon, Jane McGillivray, Pamela Greenwich. Stacey says, hi, Ben. Luna is very excited to see you again. Hello, Stacey. Hello, Luna. Janelle says, got 3 boxes of goodies over the last 2 days, hoping to have a play with some of them Saturday. Cindy says, good job, Ben. Thank you. I've only done 1 petal, so it could go very wrong from here. But you know what? If it does do that, at least we can say, great first petal, Ben. Great. But it just goes to show, though, that if you do have a go, and it goes to show that I do listen to what Craig says, and it does work. Surprisingly, what he says works.
You know, it's funny that, isn't it?
Funny that, yeah.
It is funny. I do try. I do try. I know I speak gibberish sometimes, but some things...
Not you.
Some things that I say does work. Now, this time, what I'm doing, Ben, is I'm actually taking that DR6 that I brought out to show, and I've just gone right, just underneath that petal, just underneath it. And then, of course, just creating even more drama when it comes to the petal. So let's turn that one around again. So I'm going to go in with that light tone. So I'm going underneath that petal there. And then I'm just going to then relax my hand. I'm going to flick out.
Look who's just pitched up on your command.
Oh, he's 4 minutes late, but I'll give him that.
Oh, he's...
I was actually on my dinner. So I've left me did it. And made
Wow.
Well then,
There you
that's
go.
good. Oh, nice. Right, before you go any further, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute.
Passed.
Oh, okay. Oh, is that actually even better than Tracy's?
No way!
Well done, Jake. Well
Jake, I won't
done.
be testing mine because I know you'll have done a cracking job, mate.
Yeah, that is a stonking cup of tea. That is brilliant.
Stonking.
Little bit of fun winding Jake up because, of course, Jake is always,
Yes.
always very busy that the last thing on his mind is making us a cup of tea, whereas
Yeah.
Tracy will always make us a cup of tea mid-show. However, Tracy is obviously going on Pastors New, just to the other side of the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Where she's going to be joining the product development team. So we'll still see her. So we're just winding Jake, going, Jake, you're going to have to start making us cups of tea and coffee.
When I first saw that email, I thought she was going, and I was like, what? What? But thankfully...
Did Debbie Robinson not burst out crying or started crying?
Oh, did she? Oh, man. It was all very emotional, apparently. I think probably the emotion is the fact that she knows she's not going to see me as much every day. That's probably what
That's
the
what the emotion is, yeah.
Yeah, was, to be
Yeah.
fair. I know she always come and tell me, but obviously I wasn't here. You know. Crafty bestie.
Yes. So, yeah. I, you know, joking aside, I don't know if I would want Tracy and Jake's job. It is constant.
Oh, no.
Absolutely constant.
Nicola just said, yeah, I wouldn't want that, having to deal with divas like you guys. Hey, Nicola, I think in the world that we work, I think we are the most undiverish people in our jobs you ever wish to meet. I think there's I've met some very big divas out there.
So have I.
Yeah. Very big divas.
I
I'm not
have
naming
as
names
well.
before anyone says. No. Might be sued for
No one's
slander.
too beneath emptying a bin.
Eh?
No one's too beneath emptying a bin.
Exactly right. You tell them. Hey, whenever I do crafting over this side, I always tidy up.
Yeah, and I never used that as like someone here never empties a bin. I just mean it doesn't matter what kind of hierarchy that you are.
Yes.
Does not matter. I will always empty the bin. I will. What's it to say? I will never ask someone to do something that I would
you
do
wouldn't do
myself.
yourself.
Never.
Yeah. Nicola, she's just like, I just like to wind you up and call you divas. Fair play. Oh, hang on. There's a message from Big Pop now. What does he want? He said, are them two saying they aren't divas? Ha 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 ha. All right, Johnny.
We are not divas.
We are not divas.
Never in a million
You ask
years.
anybody. Oh, thanks, guys. Oh, you got me on the screen.
Oh, Ben, look at that.
It's all right, isn't it?
That's great.
I'm actually very, very pleased with this.
You should be.
Getting a little bit of little bit of blending in there.
Yeah, that is so smart.
I'm doing a 3 bend, so that's why I said to Craig earlier. So you, this is off this deal we got on screen here. So I got the CR1, which is from the which set is that from? CR1 is from the portrait or figure and portrait, and then the other two. So I've got CR1, CR3, and CR5, and those are from the essential sketching. So it is CR. Does it stand for coral? I think.
Coral, isn't it?
Coral.
Coral.
So you could have Carl and Carol using the coral. Please, can you just say that sentence for me?
What?
Carl and Carol using the coral. Don't go that far. Just Carl and Carol using the coral.
Carol and Carol using the coral.
With a warm worm.
Carol and Carol using the coral and the what? Carol and Carol using the coral and the warm worm.
Worm. Sorry, Craig. Undiverish, says Cindy Condy. I love that. Yeah, undiverish, that's us. I'm watching and colouring, says Shazza, but not flowers. I'm colouring my Royal Jungle Tiger. If you are colouring, feel free to send us pictures
please
of
do.
what you're doing. We'd love to see what you're up to.
It'll be really, really good to see what you're colouring as well. We could all just have like a little mini colouring-a-thon.
A colouring-a-thon.
Colouring-a-thon.
Yeah.
We're all just colouring away, seeing what everyone's colouring. Whether, of course, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be having to use your illustrators.
No.
You might be using your tri-blends. You might be using your classics. Or, Ben, you might be a new crafter or a new colourist, and I'm going to throw it out there. You're maybe just new to the world of paper crafting, but you've had pro markers for a couple of years.
Oh, okay.
You can still learn from us when using your pro markers before you then venture into actually jumping in and buying your illustrators.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
right.
if you've got other branded alcohol markers that are still within that three-tone family, 3 different shades, four different shades, you can still learn off of all of us on Crafters TV. And then once you're happy, you're confident, you think, yeah, I'm going to go for it, then of course you can then jump into the world of illustration colours. So just because you don't have them doesn't necessarily mean that you can't learn from us.
Yeah, and also if you want to like pop some chat through, let us know. You know, obviously we're focusing on illustrators in this show, but what is your pen of choice when it comes to Spectrum Noir? You know, are you more of a tri-blend fan like Craig? Are you more into like your watercolours? What is your sort of go-to? What do you prefer to work with? Let us know.
Yeah,
in the
be
comments.
interesting.
And as I say, if you've got anything that you want to ask Craig about these pens, then feel free. Aniel says, those are my favourite shades of roses, Ben. Well, Aniel, this is for you. This is for you. And Mary Beth says, Ben, you are doing an excellent job. Thank you. We're just having a lot of fun in this show, aren't
I
we,
am
really?
as well, actually, yeah.
We're just having a lot of fun.
What I'm actually going to do is I'm going back in with that DR6, and I'm actually just ending up going to just extend that little bit more when it comes to the highlight lines just there. So it really is just going in with the tip of the Japanese nib.
Yeah.
And then I'm just following. So I'm kind of replicating what I'd done before. So I'm going just under that petal, but then what I'm doing is I'm just following those stamped highlight lines to intensify that, add a little bit more drama underneath. So we're just following along, just underneath again, just flicking as I'm going, and then again, just underneath there.
You know the
That
bits that you've left exactly where I've left? Are you thinking that those, is that foliage at the bottom? Is that green?
That's leaves.
It
green.
is definitely.
Yes.
I just wanted to double check that.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
It is definitely. And then let's go. I'm just going to go back in with the DR3 here.
Thank you as well, Victoria, who's just messaged. Our Victoria. Does Ben know it's National Ben Day? Do you know what? I found out in the break that it was National Ben Day. So yeah, I don't know what we can do to celebrate that. Just celebrate me, yeah, basically. I was going to ask once we found out to see if we could get another code, but our Big Poppy's still
like
watching.
Harrison yesterday.
Yeah, like we could get like maybe another Ben code for Friday Night
I
Live.
wonder if
maybe.
Harrison's in. We'll just ask him to send another blank email.
Oh, from Ben.
From Ben.
Yeah, and then just get another code. Oh dear. Yeah. So anyway, happy Ben Day, everybody. Any more Bens watching right now? Let me know.
Yeah.
Jane McGillivray says tri-blend alcohol markers are my fave, and Tricia says I prefer using the tri-blends. I have some illustrators, but I'm afraid to admit I've been scared to use them. I've loved Craig demos though. He's made it a lot easier to understand and get my head around. I think in terms of this show particularly, Craig, the fact that you're talking about being able to get the 3-pen blend from this makes it a lot easier, because I think if you just get the illustrators in our beginners bundle, obviously you'll get lots of different colours in there, but you won't necessarily get the 3 different blends from each pen. But if you're going for the full collection, you will be able to find the 3-pen blend across the collections. And then if you know the rules that you use them with the tri-blends, it's just exactly the same again with these, isn't it? Exactly the same.
It's exactly the same,
Yeah.
except instead of colouring in circular motions, we're just flicking.
Yeah.
And I need to simplify it, Ben, because we all know I don't use Illustrator pens a lot. It's not because I don't like them. I think they're an incredible pen, a beautiful pen to colour with. And it's a lovely, I'm going to actually say maybe in some ways, and you know how much I love my tri-blends, maybe the Illustrators are a little bit even more relaxing because you're just concentrating on that flicking. You're just in a world of your own, building up that flicking action when it comes to building that shade there. But I've not... Put it this way, out of all of us on the team, I've probably got the lowest confidence when it comes to Illustrator pens because I always use my tri-blends. I enjoy them, but I don't use them enough. So therefore, what I'm thinking to myself, I'm having to simplify for myself. So what I'm thinking, I'm just saying to you. So hopefully, for anyone that has or does struggle with Illustrator pens or not tried them, they've got them but not tried them because of the confidence, maybe hopefully, I'd like to think I would help in some way today to then simplify it. So I'm going to go in. Where's that 45 minutes gone?
I can't believe that we are 45 minutes
flown in
into the show. I'm literally having the best time.
I can't put the pen down, Nicola, because we'll have to finish the blend or the alcohol.
Yeah.
The alcohol will evaporate. So I might just really take my time then, Nicola.
Well, I'll tell you what, we can continue colouring in the break. I finished my blend on that petal.
I'm just finishing.
Finished there. So, I will throw to a break now.
I'm going to Ben, I actually think yours is better than mine.
Well, I don't know about that. I think it's the best blend I've ever done, in all fairness.
It's the perfect blend.
We're getting there. What did you say? Let's have a break. Chance for you to check out your deals. The beginners collection is still available. Obviously, the best value for money deal is to get all of the Illustrators, the 72p set. And yeah, we'll come back in about 4 or 5 minutes' time when, guess what, we'll probably be doing more colouring.
Right, guys, now we've been getting a lot of love from everybody since the start of the new year. But I just feel like there is even more we could give our viewers.
But we already give them entertaining shows, amazing offers, brilliant demos and in-depth craft-alongs. What more can we do?
Yes, but I still think we could give them more.
For Sarah, we're already live 3 shows a day, 5 days a week. I mean, what else are you thinking?
You're right. It looks like we might have to make it Saturdays.
That's right, join me over the next few Saturdays as we sit down, chat, craft and create live from the studio, giving you even more opportunities to watch and join in.
Want to catch some amazing deals at the weekend? Make it Saturday.
Want your chance to win some amazing prizes? Make it Saturday.
To virtually join us live and show us your makes? Make it Saturday.
Want to have a chance for us to solve your craft problems in our crafty clinic? Make it Saturday. Want to vote for your favourite demo of the week? Make it Saturday.
So don't miss out on our brand new show, Make It Saturday, where the weekend comes to life.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty program today and receive 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits to joining Club Inspire include special members-only sales, and you can receive discounts or exclusive access to products, and even free gifts. You will receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro that you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. See if you can craft your way up to our ultimate Club Inspire tier, Platinum, where you'll enjoy the very best discounts and rewards that we offer. As you keep climbing through the club, you can actually reach Platinum Plus and even Platinum for life. The more points you collect, the more you will be rewarded within our amazing special Club Inspire community. So, what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
Missed your favourite Crafters TV shows this week? Feel like you've missed out on the best crafting deals? Don't worry, we've got you covered. Join us for Second Chance Sunday, your ultimate catch-up on the top 10 deals, demos and must-see moments from the past week. From incredible discounts to inspiring crafting, this is your second chance to grab the best of the best. But hurry, these deals won't last long. Tune in to Second Chance Sunday only on Crafters TV, because every crafter deserves a second chance.
Up there.
You do know this isn't a real door, don't you?
The instruction and inspiration is mind-blowing.
The inspiration, the products to make our own and make it our own.
I get so much inspiration and tips and tricks from everyone there at Crafters Companion.
And there's so much support, respect, and inspiration all through the socials.
I like to watch Crafters TV as often as I'm free, and I always get new ideas each time, and it certainly helps kickstart my mojo.
That is why I love Crafters Companion, because they make me look like a better crafter and give me ways to do things that I haven't tried before.
I wouldn't be the crafter I am today without Crafters TV, so thank you.
Yeah, we're having fun today. I mean, we're having fun every day, but we're just having a lot of fun colouring today. A lot of people enjoying the show as well, actually. A lot of people said they're having a lot of fun. Carol says, I haven't jumped into the Illustrators yet. I'm much more comfy with Aquas. Well, that's horses for courses again, really, isn't it? Whatever you kind of find is the one that you want to play with. Renetta, thank you. Ben, you're amazing every day, not just on Ben's day. Well, that's very kind of you, thank you. I'll have to watch this back, says Algia. It's about the Illustrators. I do have them. And Dahlia says, this is a great show. I haven't started to use my pens yet to colour with, but this is very encouraging. Thank you all. And I love alcohol markers, says Kimberly, as they can be used on so many different surfaces. You made a good point, though, because alcohol markers can be used on lots of different surfaces, but because these have got like that brush nib, does that make them harder to use? Like, say, if you were going to colour, I don't know, gems or jewellery and stuff?
Yeah, you know, it's still doable. It's absolutely doable because it is alcohol pens. However, you've just got to think, if you've got gems, for instance, you know yourself it's going to be a lot easier to colour that gem with a harder bullet nib like your tri-blends or your classics. I know you've got a bullet nib within the Illustrator, but it's even smaller and firmer. So at the end of the day, yes, you can do if you want to persevere. However, I would tend to just stick with my tri-blends or my classics when it comes to colouring gems and pearls and ribbons, etc., etc.
Excellent stuff. We're just carrying on colouring, aren't we, for
We
the
are.
next half an hour or whatever it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seeing how this is going, so I'm just going to start again.
Oh, that's brilliant. I love the fact that we've sort of chosen completely different colours to go for. And this is, yes, we'll have done like 3 completely different coloured flowers, won't we? Because what did you do the initial one in? Like purple?
Purple.
Purple.
That one. There,
Yeah.
one there. So we've gone out, started within that one. And then, yeah, you've gone in with that kind of peachy tone, haven't you, the coral?
Yeah.
And I'm going to go in with the red. Just going in with that lighter tone to start with.
You can understand why so many people love to colour, and like when we were in those sort of weird COVID times, a lot of people turned to this as like a mindful thing to do, didn't they? Colouring.
Exactly.
It's very relaxing.
It is. It really, really is relaxing. It's although you're only colouring, and I say only loosely, you're only colouring, you're focusing in on the image and the colour, which then also means you're not actually thinking about anything else.
Yeah.
You physically can't think of anything else when you're thinking and focusing on the colouring,
Yeah,
which
it's very
really
true.
is a great escapism if you're needing to escape your mind. And obviously we can't make claims, but there's so many people out there that do say and will say that colouring has helped them a lot when it comes to tough times, physical health, mental health.
I think as well, it's funny, isn't it, how long, when you're doing like the 3, like because if you were to look at this and go, oh, I'll colour that in like 5 minutes, but once you like concentrate on doing like the blend and stuff, it takes quite a while to colour something, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah.
Like what when did we start colouring? 20 past?
Yeah.
Like half an hour. We'll do well to finish this. I'll finish it tomorrow.
Because you do, it's so relaxing and therapeutic.
Should we just colour for 2 hours tonight in Friday Night Live?
Could do, yeah.
Oh, we've got a game to play.
Apart from the game.
Should we just colour and then just play some games? And then go home?
Let's do that.
Yeah?
Let's do that. Friday Night Live, colouring. Imagine if they'd done that on Saturday Night Live, just coloured.
Yeah. Do keep the comments coming in, everybody, because I know, obviously, I'm not as chatty, nor is Craig, as we would be in the show, because we're both having a lot of fun just colouring. So if you can supply the chat, that would be perfect, please. Thanks very much. Please and thank you. Any questions? Feel free. Let's talk about as well with this pen. We've got obviously the brush nib that we are using. I mean, would you use the ultra fine nib on these a lot, really, or 99% of the time is it just the brush nib?
So for me anyway, when I do use my Illustrator pens, 9 times out of 10 it is my brush nib that I use. But you've got that finer nib. If you're like, when you come into the centre of things like this is maybe when you're going to want to use that fine nib to then just etch in with your colour. Or maybe, as I have been doing, round that outer edge, instead of actually going round that outer edge with your tip of the brush nib, maybe you want to go around that outer edge just with that small bullet in it. So if I bring that one in there, so instead of using the tip of the brush nib, you might just want to come along and then just create that little outside darkness. Yeah. Using that little nib instead.
I see.
So you can do it with that one in that way, should you wish. But yeah, loving how this is coming along. So, and then essentially this has now gone from a 3-tone blend to a 4-tone blend that I'm doing. But then this is also a good point as well. Don't worry, don't panic, don't overthink about it. Just focus on your 3-tone blend. Yeah. Just focus on a 3-tone blend, and then once you've done your 3-tone blend within your image, that's when you can take that deeper one and then just go round that outer edge. So don't worry, don't overthink about it, don't overcomplicate it. Just do your 3-tone blend, just finish off by etching the edges with a deeper shade of said colour family. So let's go in and then start colour again. So going in with the light. But they're a beautiful, strong colour just to use as standalone, as you mentioned earlier on. Yeah. If you do want to then use these as 4 individual reds, then of course you can absolutely do that. You'll get no blemishes, you'll get none of that. Yeah, I would still, of course, highly recommend that you use your alcohol card, even though you're not doing any blend. You still want to have a lovely, smooth lay down of colour. Yeah. So then, therefore, you want to have that perfect blend. So use your card. So let's go in with that.
And your standard card, I know a lot of people have been this already, but the card that we have, that is a good sort of go-between for either watercolour or alcohol colouring, isn't it? If you haven't got the watercolour for your watercolour markers and your...
Yes.
Yeah, you can use that, but it's always best to have the alcohol card or the watercolour card, depending on what you're using, isn't it?
Definitely, yeah. What I would say is, if you can, don't use your water-based pens with your alcohol card, and don't use your alcohol pens with your watercolour card. Yeah. I would say that. I would say that if you don't have alcohol cardstock for your alcohol pens, then that good in-between is your white, smooth cardstock. That's a nice little stable in-between until you get more alcohol card. And the same on the flip. Let's say you do run out of watercolour card. As long as you're not really oversaturating the white smooth cardstock, you can still use the white smooth as a nice one to do a little bit of water, maybe like blending out your aqua pens, or of course going in with your aqua pen pencils and that as well. But there's a reason and a point and a purpose as to why we have alcohol cardstock and water-based cardstock, the way that's been made, manufactured, and the fibres are built up.
Question from Faith, who says, how do you tell the difference between the markers when you have them all together? Now, do you mean by the colours, or do you mean the different markers as in the Illustrators from the Classiques? I'm not quite sure what you mean there, but...
Yeah. So obviously your Illustrators are, of course, within that light grey barrel.
Yeah.
Your Classiques are in your black barrels.
Yeah.
And then your tri-blends are in that triple barrel. So that is the only two that look identical in shape and size is your Classic and your Illustrator. But as you can see, your Illustrators are a light grey, it says Illustrator. Your Classics is a black and it says Classics. And then, well, your tri-blends are longer, but they are, of course, a 3-barrel. So that's the difference visually. But yeah, if you mean something else, then let Ben know and we will happily answer that.
Thank you. Terry's just said, I love watching you guys colour. Puts me in a colouring coma. I'm supposed to be working. Sorry. And Henry says, I started my crafting journey with a colouring book that I decided to make some coloured cards, and then I discovered Crafter's Companion, and the rest is history. It's a good way to get into crafting, isn't it?
It is, you know, and the love and the enjoyment of colouring hasn't really dropped at all.
No.
I would just say lately, it's kind of intensified even more.
Yeah.
Even more and more people are doing it. If you go on to TikTok, now I know all you need to do is like watch one video for 3 seconds and then the algorithm then just means that you get more and more, but you get so much more videos online of people using them and trying them. What I will say, and I'm not saying this as a way for money, I mean this is you buy cheap pens,
yeah,
you get poor looking results.
Exactly right.
So when you see them on TikTok and these inexpensive stores, I absolutely love them. I try and go in them every week because you get some great things in there. However, there's some things that you do want to stay away from. Now, if you're going to be using them for a toddler or someone like that, like your water-based pens, that's fine. Of course, you're going to do that. But if you want to get that professional look, if you want to get that beautiful blend from the perfect pen with the perfect tools, then of course you want to go with a company that knows all about colouring. We've got Spectrum Noir, headed up by, of course, Leanne, her baby. Spectrum Noir team, they know everything that needs to be known about colour, about formulation, about the tools themselves, the barrels, the chambers, the inks, the nibs, etc., etc. So if you are thinking about doing that as a long-term hobby that you want to grow, I would highly recommend. I mean, if you were to break this down compared to how many of the same sets you would have to buy if you bought them out of an inexpensive store.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That it's a no-brainer on that one.
1, 3, 4. Oh, more questions. Here we go. Craig says, Jeannie, if you were to put a gloss or sparkle over your blending, does the gloss take away your blending?
No. No. So if you want to put your glossy highlights over, you can do that. But what you'll get is you'll still get that incredible blend and colour, but you will get that gloss over the top.
Yeah.
You can use your sparkle pen, just don't oversaturate it.
Okay.
And which you're not going to when it comes to your sparkle pen. You're just going to give that a light colour over with a sparkle pen, and then that is it. That's all that you need. If you did try and oversaturate it, Ben, you will start to certainly bleed some of the alcohol and certainly the outside line. So keep that one in mind. But yeah, you're not going to lose any visibility, any of that clearance from the colouring if you use a glossy highlight or your sparkle pens.
Any tips for flicking with markers for beginners, says Tammy. I'm having a hard time.
Yeah, what I would suggest, let me do, and we actually done it within Wake Up Call. I'm just going to finish this bit before the alcohol evaporates. Oh, and I'll get a blender pen as well. Let's just get this one in here. What to do is take a stamp that you really love and you enjoy colouring, that's really easy to colour. Hence why you will always see me use this stamp.
Yeah.
Because, as I also explained, it's a nice one, it's a big one, it's a bold one for you to practice your colouring. What I would do is, for instance, within this, maybe take that part of the flower there. You don't need to stamp out the whole lot, just dab with the actual stamp itself, I'm not going to do it here, but on the actual surface of the stamp, just ink up that area and then just stamp it multiple times, and then what to do is just use it as a practice.
Okay.
Use it as that practice aid, and that is exactly what you're wanting to do. You want to get it into the feel. Going back to what Ben said earlier, you're surprised actually how little pressure that you have to do.
Yeah.
And then that is it. Just play and practice. So you just want to go, so if you went really heavy-handed, you can actually see excess ink coming out, which you don't want. If you go really, really light, the lighter you go, the thinner the lines are as well, because the lighter you go, it's the tip of the Japanese nib. And then if you're going kind of like mediocre, and then it depends as well, do you go close together? Are you kind of like spacing outwise? If you are going in an angle, I would recommend do something like that. Just play with your flicks, see how you get on, and then go into a petal or a leaf or something that's a semi-good size that you enjoy colouring, and just section off one specific bit. Stamp that out multiple times on your alcohol cardstock. And even when you're practicing, my also biggest advice, even when you're practicing, practice on your alcohol card. If you practice on cheap cardstock, you're going to get a horrible look, which then just means that you're going to lose your confidence because you think you've done something wrong. When you've not done something wrong, it's the card that's not holding and blending the ink. So if you do it in a smaller area and a smaller surface, you're not going to waste a lot of alcohol card. But it is, for me anyway, it's a huge, huge thing to practice on the proper cardstock. Certainly for alcohol colouring and certainly for watercolouring as well. Some people think, you know, I'm trying to think of a scenario when they say, just take inexpensive this and give it a try and a practice. That's fair enough, but you're not going to get a nice end result because the card isn't doing its job. You want the right card, the right ink pad. So even when practicing, use the proper tools for you to get that result.
Ash, we can certainly do this. She says, can we have a show on the different types of pens and pencils, please, like we did for the glue? I mean, we can definitely look at doing that, and maybe one for the craft clinic that we're going to be doing on Make It Saturdays. Make It Saturday. But if you do go and check our YouTube page, there will be tons of Colour Me Happy shows. Maybe not one, no, there must be. There will be shows specifically where we've gone through all of the pens and pencils, won't there? There must be. There must be. But we can certainly put that forward for a craft clinic in the future. That is no problem. Tina B says, how many illustrators total are there? Is it 214? I've got in my mind.
Yeah, it's two. Yeah, that rings a bell anyway.
Yeah. It might.
I'm sure it's 200.
200.
Sure it is.
And similarly, Trudy's asking, how many tri-blends are there?
48.
Is it
24 blends and 24 shades?
Right.
Yes. Sure, that's what it is. So what I was saying a moment ago about practicing on a specific section, this is just what I was meaning. Just make sure that you've stamped out that specific area and then you can start to colour. The reason I've done this is because I've just gone and got my blending tool.
Right.
And I'm going to colour this just as I have been, and then we can then use that blending tool. I very, very rarely, Ben, use my blending tool. And do you know where I will sometimes use it more than any? And that is actually my colour blend pencils.
Oh, okay.
Because you know how we do, I don't know, stock dependent, but we've done the paper stumps with the little sanding block and also the blending solution.
Yeah.
Well, as far as I'm aware, essentially the blending solution that's in the bottle is basically like the blending solution that you've got within your blending pen.
Right.
I might be wrong on that one. If I am wrong, it's not going to be far off that same content, so to speak. Blending pen to blend out your ink, blending solution, the pencils. So I actually use my blending pen more with my colour blend pencils.
Okay.
But we'll show you these ones. So let's go in with, start to colour and blend in, as I've been doing so far. But yeah, you can always use your blending pen if you've gone over the lines and push the colour back in. Some people think, you know, colour over your line. You want to push it back in. So let's go in with my next one. So add that additional layer by then flicking inwards, and then I'm going to finish with my last one. So flick that one in, like so. So if I turn that one around, and then I'm actually just going to go in with the DR4 again, and then just add a little bit more of darkness. If you've still got, no, we don't have them anymore, but if you've still got like your Totally Tiffany rotating board.
Oh, yeah, I used to love that rotating board.
Yeah, I still, even when I do colour, especially in the summertime when I'm colouring out in the decking, I always use my Totally Tiffany rotating board.
There were two sizes of that, weren't there, I seem to remember?
Oh, was there?
Was there
I know we originally had the wooden one, and then we brought out the plastic one.
That's what it was. Was there a 12 by 12 one? I think, yeah.
Oh.
Well, I remember that when we brought out the, yeah, there was the plastic one, then the wooden one, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do remember that.
So yeah, they're great.
Question. Tell me what you think about me. Question from Jeannie, who says, again, Craig, can you do this, the flicking technique, on an embossed flower?
You can do it on anything. Yeah, you can absolutely do it on anything. You might just have to have a little bit of a play because, of course, it's embossed. But yeah, as long as it's on that suitable cardstock to get a really lovely blend, absolutely, yeah, you can do. No problem at all. Just what you're going to do is you're going to substitute your inked outline for the embossed outline. So instead of following your inked outline, you're just going to follow the outline of the embossed detail. Yeah. That's all that you're going to do instead. But yeah, you can do. No problem whatsoever.
Shazza, my granddaughter, is studying for her GCSEs. She uses colour as a chill out between studying. The other week I bought her the big colourista pens. I mean, that is a great place as well to start. Isn't it? Particularly for, I know your granddaughter's GCSE, so she's not a little one, but like, you know, for littlies, you know, primary school kids, if you want to get them started off with a good pen, the colourista range is a good place to start, Craig, isn't it?
It is. It's a really, really good one. So maybe at the moment, you're not quite even confident to maybe start at the Tri-Blends Colourista one. Great one, absolutely. A really, really good one to start. And then, of course, think about. Now, it's easy for me to say Colourista to Tri-Blends to Classic to Illustrator pens. So you're going to say, so what, Craig, you're expecting me to buy the whole lot of pens every single time? Of course not. Get yourself familiar, maybe a little starter set, exactly why we do these ones, and see which ones you prefer. 9 times out of 10, most people do prefer and go for the Tri-Blends, as I do. But yeah, there may be a rhyme or reason as to why you prefer Illustrators over, of course, your Tri-Blends or Classics. So try.
Yeah.
So let's go in within this one here. What we're going to do is, let's just say, Ben, with here, oh gosh, I've gone out that line. What we can do is we can take the blending pen, and then what we can do is then I can then start, it's as if, Ben, I'm starting to push it back in. Now, what you need to be careful, because I'm actually doing it, is just push it up to the line. So we're starting to push it back in. I don't want to go too much over, otherwise you can see I'm crossing over ever so slightly, and I'm actually starting to discolour my main image. But it also goes to show how you're able to then lighten what you've done. Yeah. Now, at the moment, that is wet, but we can see just even up to that black line, the red's gone. So I'm just pushing that back in, my red's gone. I just need to let that alcohol evaporate and dry, and that'll have disappeared. So that's a good one for your alcohol pens, and not just Illustrator, any of your alcohol pens.
Okay.
But let's say I've maybe gone a little bit too dark here, didn't mean to go as dark. I want to lighten it. Now, of course, I could go all the way back to my lightest red, because remember, the lighter the colour, the more alcohol that's in it, which is basically the blending solution. But you've just got pure blended solution. So if I wanted to lighten that, I can then lighten that, blend that out that little bit more, and then what I'm going to do is I'm only going to do half, so that you'll just see just shortly, you can already see it starting to do its job. It's starting to then blend out that colour, starting to get that little bit lighter. So I'm just going to add just a little bit more. Now, you probably wouldn't go and add as much as I am. I'm just doing it to show you how that the actual pen is starting to blend out the ink. And never worry about cross-contamination, because all you're just going to do is just scribble until your nib is nice and clean again.
Yeah.
So you can go colour to colour. But then exactly the same as your pen, the longer you leave it, and I don't mean like hours and hours and hours. I mean, just a few moments, that alcohol's going to evaporate. That's then going to then blend out the colour. But please do be careful though, because you're going over that whole image, which means you're going to blend out, and potentially you're going to end up with just that one shade of colour over that image. So just be careful when you use the blending solution. Me personally, if I want to blend it out, I usually go back to the lightest that I've used, but you have got your blending pen, and I'm sure there's many other ways that you can use it.
More questions coming through. Let me just tear myself away from this.
That is so smart, Ben.
I'm getting there, aren't I? I'm getting there.
That is so smart.
Not too bad. I've come on leaps and bounds. It's because I hang out with Craig, you see. That's what it is. But as I say, from my point of view, I just feel happy to be able to colour with you guys on air without fear of going, oh no, I'm going to muck it up, it's going to look terrible. It's because I don't care is not the right phrase, but it doesn't bother me if it doesn't look great, because then I'll just start again. But I'm having real fun today, and I'm really pleased with this.
You should.
But great tuition, which you guys are getting each and every day, you know, from the likes of Craig, the Debbies obviously, and all the rest of the team, and of course great products. You know, you got the Illustrator, so you know you're on the right track before you start. Exactly as Craig says, you know, if you start off with the right stuff, the right pens, you know, the right ink pads, the right papers, you're onto a winning streak before you even get going. Karen, so this is again a good question, because people get a bit confused about Nina on our alcohol marker cards. She says, I've got Nina premium cardstock that is £110, 199 GSM. Is that a good quality for my alcohol markers?
So don't worry and don't get bogged down too much when it comes to the weight of the cardstock. What you just want to make sure it's the right cardstock.
Yes.
So if it's Nina, that is the perfect cardstock for your alcohol colouring. Alcohol cardstock, that is the perfect. Focus on the name, not necessarily the weight. Of course, our Nina cardstock is now branded as alcohol cardstock, pure and simply to make it a lot easier for everyone. So that then means that we've got our watercolour card, we've got our alcohol colour card, and we've got our card. That's it. 3 main cardstock, 3 main cards that are going to do the 3 main jobs: watercolouring, alcohol colouring, and then your construction, your card blanks, etc., etc. So don't worry too much about the weight. Just focus on, if it says it's the alcohol cardstock, that's what you want. Use the card for the job, and you're going to be absolutely fine.
And again, you know, people joining all the time, so it's fine to ask any question, even if you think, oh, it's probably been asked. We realise people don't always stay and watch the whole show.
No.
You dip in, dip out, so it's fine. Stephanie says, there are 2 different tips on the Illustrators. What purpose for each tip, or is it just a preference, Craig?
So, of course, really most people with the Illustrator pens, it's the brush nib. It's the Japanese brush nib, because that gives you, and it goes back to, again, everything that I've been explaining, where the brush nib is great for the flow, for that movement, the dresses, the hair, the trees, the bush, the fur, etc., etc. The bullet nib, unless there is a specific reason with that buller nib, it's there really just for that finer detail, like I've been doing. Although I've been using the very, very tip of the brush nib, if you don't want to use the tip of the brush nib, because it is quite flexible, if you want that sturdiness when it comes to the finer nib, then you've got that finer nib as well to actually just go into the little nooks and crannies just to finish off, should you wish.
And loads of lovely comments flying through. Safe to say, Craig, people are enjoying just watching us colour. This has got to be the easiest show I've ever done.
Yeah, probably, but you know what? It's nice to know that as well, because of course, you know, you thought, oh gosh, they're just sitting and colouring. And of course, before we go into a live show, I think this is really only the second time we've done it, certainly with myself anyway. It's, oh my gosh, you know, the whole show, is people going to like that? But then you think of demos in the past where people say, oh, I could watch you colour all day.
Yeah.
And it's nice to know that actually, yeah, you will actually just ask questions. You'll watch what we're doing. You know, sometimes, and I know a lot of people say they learn from watching, not always necessarily reading, that sort of form of tutorial. So it's nice that you're actually enjoying it and answering or asking the questions as and when you're thinking of them.
Yeah, loads of lovely comments coming through. Awesome job, both of you, says Jeannie. Good morning, Rhonda, who says, I love the Illustrator pens. And Deborah says, great job, Ben. I've just bought the Illustrator bundle and some alcohol cardstock. I think, Craig, you know, it's great to have the beginner's bundle, isn't it? But if you can stretch today, this deal on the screen now with the 72 is going to give you more scope, isn't it, than obviously one set. I know it sounds a silly thing to say, but you've got 72 colours. But you'll be able to find more 3-pen blends within this bundle, won't you?
Absolutely, yeah, you will do. And of course, you've got the ability at the starter with the two-tone blends. You can absolutely do that, no problem at all. And maybe for some, that's going to be a good way to start with and practice with the two-tone blend. That is all about that start. It's just starting you off. It's getting you familiar with the pen, the look, the feel, how you colour, maybe even stamping with the actual stamps that you've got as well. The stamps are nice and small, so it's not as if they're a bigger surface for you to then kind of practice and colour with. But then, of course, if you can, it's one of those things where if you go for the starter, you'll be very, very quick in wanting to go for the full range, or at least a bigger range. So then everyone's got a different budget. Totally get that. You just know that if you go for that, you've got the creme de la creme when it comes to alcohol colouring. Go onto Google, you're going to find lots of world-renowned artists that are using their Spectrum Noir range, whether, of course, it's water-based or alcohol-based. You've got tutorials out there. You've got all of us as well on Crafters TV. And even like Friday Night Live, for instance, you might have a colouring question then. Yeah. Just because it's not a fully dedicated colouring demo or show, you can ask any question about any part of Crafters Companion that you want. So don't ever think, I have to wait until a colouring show to watch or ask a colouring question. You don't have to. You can ask at any time, and you know that you've got the confidence there. You've got us at social as well. We're just an arm's reach away with a question, and we will always do what we can to help where we can.
Yeah, and just to say again, we do have, if you can't stretch to the full bundle, we do have the individuals available for you as well. So either go for those individual bundles, go for the full bundle if you can stretch to it, or if you just want the little taste of, if you like, then you've got the ability to do that with the beginner bundle, which we have also got on the show. Although bear in mind that there isn't as much stock of that available. I think we're an hour and 25 minutes in. This show is flying over. We are going to have a short break, and when we come back, probably do some more colouring, to be honest. Some more colouring. I think we're probably both just about going to, I think I certainly will, because I know Craig's obviously been demoing other things, but we'll probably both have finished our images by the time the show's over. So get checking out. Please provide us with any more comments and questions, because we love to read those out as we colour. And we'll be back here in about 4 or 5 minutes' time after we hear from the crafting dealers.
Hi, Sarah. We're the Crafting Divas from Florida, the ladies you met at HSN last April. We met and chatted, and we each other, so now we get together every month and we craft.
I'm Karen, and I love Crafters Companion so much that I changed the color theme in my craft room, and it's now all purple, and 95% of my my products are from Crafters Companion.
I'm Elaine, and I watch every day, and I love, love, love Cologne. Keep it.
I'm Colleen, and I love all the demonstrations. I learned so much, and I love the Demings who are demonstrating, and you all treat us like family.
And I'm Karen, and I love my Gemini. I have a Pro, and that is the workhorse in my craft room.
I'm Lynn, and I love CC because of the friends.
I love Ben and all the parodies he does. I'm Kim.
And Sarah, we have a question for you. How about lunch on us the next time you're here in Florida? Our treat, and we're celebrating you taking back your company.
Hello everyone, Munchkin and I wrote a poem to tell you how much we love Crafters Companion. Sarah being back is a wondrous sight. Sarah always brought us a treasure trove of delight. Your papers shimmer and make all crafts shine. Your pens, pencils, and markers make all crafters say, they are mine. Your scissors are like a sword in the hand. Your glue is so strong it is in the highest demand. Crafters is the happy sight. All crafters plan their for this amazing delight. The interaction with staff, presenters, and hosts brings fun satisfaction and happiness to most. Ben brings us the most entertaining crafting song, but in the end, being able to craft along. Sarah and Crafters Companion, we wish you the most successful 2025 and so many years to come. Thank you for everything that you give to us.
Hi guys, I am in Tampa, Florida with Liam, visiting our Florida office. Thought you might want to see it. Go on, get in. So basically, this is where we keep all of our stuff in Florida. So at the moment, we're getting ready to go. So we've had this, I mean, we've been here about 15 years. We've moved premises 3 times that time. We used to have one of these, you see, it's just a big storage locker. So we used to have little spaces. And then we moved into this home about 10 years ago, and we keep all of our stuff organised here. And there's Liam getting all of our stuff. I'm basically just, you know, passing the time so I don't have to do the work. But Liam's getting all the gear out, ready to go to HSN. And I just thought you would have a look.
What I love most about Crafters TV is the community. Crafters TV brings everyone together from different corners of the world.
It also connects you with people from all over the world. You guys have been there for me. I feel like you guys are my family.
I feel like I'm crafting along with my friends.
I met some of my best friends for life from Crafters TV, so thank you very much.
When you're having a tough time, you can switch on Crafters TV and you can go on the live chat, and you know people will be there for you as well.
And there's so much support, respect, and inspiration all through the socials.
It's a place where we can all share our love for Crafters Companion and get inspiration from each other.
So what's not to love about Crafters TV? So go make a coffee and pull up a chair. Let's all get crafting. I'll see you all there.
Hello everybody, welcome back. We were just discussing during that little break there. The first thing we saw, of course, was the Crafting Divas, wasn't it? But that's that video was you saying, oh, inviting Sarah over, and she's met you now. So, would it be possible? Could you do another video for us? Because we can't really play that one now because it's been and done, isn't it? And we'd like to see you. And we'd like to keep you in our little crafting library, or you could do one each Crafting Divas, and then we'd have about 7 more, wouldn't we? And now I ask a lot of you guys, but if that is at all possible, let us know in the comments. You can send them to my page if you want, like we did last time, on my Facebook page, or you can you can email them studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. It's entirely up to you. I mean, you might not want to do it, but I just thought it might be quite nice, and then we can get like an updated video. Anyone else who wants to do a craftimonial, that would be also marvellous. Thank you very much indeed, please, and thank you. I feel like I really missed a lot getting in late to watch. Save the show so I can go back to the beginning and have it for reference, says Stephanie. Oh, do you want to look at it? Sorry, I turned it around so I could colour it. Not bad, that, is it? Not bad for a noob. Nearly done. I'll have that done before end it, sure. What a really nice, relaxing show, says Jeannie. Very informative. Really enjoying this. You both colour beautifully, and Ben, with much less history of colouring, you are doing a great job. Thank you, Laurie. Deborah's bought the Illustrator bundle. Thank you. And Laurie says, I love to scribble a colour on a glass mat, then use the blender marker to pick a bit of the colour. Then when laying down the colour, it starts out with the colour, then fades out to white/clear.
Never tried that before. It's a good idea.
Apparently. What are you doing over there? Colouring?
I'm going to try that.
Oh, are you going to?
Yeah.
Try it out. Try it out. Squeaky McSqueakerson.
Right, let's go.
Loving this show, says Melanie D, by the way. Thanks, everybody. We're having a great time with you guys.
Hello,
darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again in the sounds of silence.
I can see why. That's a really good effect. I like that. That's if I am doing it in the way that you've just been saying, Laurie. But yeah, never thought of doing it that way actually. Also a nice way. And that's then also then going to give you, actually this is the same but different way of water-based colouring.
Oh yeah.
If you go in with said colour and then start to drag it out and then pull it out, and then I can always just go in again and add more and then just blending out again. Oh, I might need to start doing this more often. I really like that.
Well, that is really cool,
like
actually.
That's really, really smart. Right, there we go. Get your blender out. Start to blend with your alcohol pens.
Isn't it great that everyone's sharing all of their
Exactly.
hints and tips and ideas? And again, that's why it's such a brilliant community, isn't it? And the fact that you're getting all of the information and ideas here, and then you guys are chipping in with ways that you like to do stuff and try stuff. So it's all about the learning, all about the sharing of ideas. My favourite way to colour, to use the alcohol markers and then the colour blend pencils, makes it a bit more 3D. Yeah, that's a good point. We haven't chatted about that for a while. So if you've got alcohol markers, Craig, be it Illustrators or Tri Blends or whatnot, you can use the colour blend pencils over the top of your alcohol, yeah? What does that achieve?
So it's not something that I have done. I know in the past Leanne's had images and finished examples and actually showing you how to do that. But that's just what it's doing. It's giving it another dimension. It's giving it that extra kind of visual where you're getting even a little bit more roundness. You're getting that, not even that contrast. You're just getting that bit of blend of the alcohol with the blend of the pencil as well. And then a pencil can sometimes get a little bit more depth of blend than sometimes an alcohol pen can, certainly that I found.
Yeah.
So it's just really, really honing in and really intensifying, but in a smaller area, the blend of the pencil over the actual blend of the alcohol pen blend. See what I mean on that one?
Yeah. So if you've got those, then give that a go. Carol says Laurie's idea of using the blender marker Craig just shows, that really does give a soft effect.
It does.
I love it.
Yeah, it does, and it's a really good way. Do you know what this would be good for, Ben? If you've got the starter kit.
Ah, yes.
Starter kit, where you maybe only got the 2-tone blend, or the 2 colour families, and you don't have the 3-tone blend. Maybe look to see about getting a blender pen and using that. Yeah.
Yeah, nice
Liking
idea.
that. I wish I actually stamped out the whole image now. It's one of those where you think, well, it might not work, so I'll just do a little bit.
Yeah.
But then it's working really well.
Never mind.
Never mind. Let's carry on with this. Let's go in, actually. I'm going to go behind me and get some of the greens.
The greens?
Let's do the green. Let's do the emerald, the alpine, and the fern green.
And the what?
Fern green.
Oh, fern green.
Yeah. Let's get the fern in. Many people will do leaves differently. Some will do the deep and the darkness down the vein, working outwards. Some will do exactly what I've been doing there, but instead of the petal, it's the leaves, and they'll have that darkness coming underneath the petal and getting lighter to the end. So you do you.
Yeah.
I'm going to go in and have that darkness just down the vein of the leaf. So I'm just going to go in with that light tone. Let's just come that little bit further out again. And then let's go in with that darkness. And just going to go in with that dark shade each way. So let's go in there. And then let's go in with that that's my mid-tone. Because this one I've done AG 3, 4 and 5.
Right.
So I'm just going to blend that one out with AG3. So let's come to the end. And then let's go back with AG3. And then finish that one off into here. I might actually go, let's actually put the fourth one. Let's go, oh, I don't have any more of the AG. So let's go, I'm going to go a real darker green here. Just down that vein there, just into there. Let's just add that a little bit there, and that little bit there. Happy with that, like that. Let's go in with this one here as well. So AG3 to start off with. So I'm just going to go in, adding that to start with. I'm going to go about 2/3 of the way to the side, like so. Smaller ones, you'll sometimes see smaller ones, what I tend to do is flick towards me.
Yeah.
And not actually away from me. Ben, that is awesome. That is absolutely awesome. I'm telling you, it's better than mine. It's absolutely better than mine.
Nicola's just done, save that for Laura's birthday. Maybe I will.
You should.
Yeah. Now, do you know what? I thank you, Craig, because, and I always say this because, I didn't mind doing a bit of crafting, when I joined here. I'd never done any crafting elsewhere, so I sort of found my crafty mojo, but I was always scared to colour.
Yeah.
And I still remember that show that you and I did, and that was the tri-blends. And you were pretty much like, just give it a go, and I followed your step by step. And like you say, with the illustrators, it's finding the 3 pens that will blend together, and just it's the same thing in mind as you would do with the tri-blends. That's what I try and do anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. That's all that you're doing. Essentially, at the end of the day, Ben, the basics, nothing changes. Tri-blends, classics, and Illustrator. The way that you lay that colour down is exactly the same. So whatever way you use your tri-blends or your classics, just do exactly the same with the Illustrator, but instead of circular motion, you're just doing the flicking motion by doing that blend.
Give these a go today. Like if you're on the fence, like be one of the final few people to get that beginner's bundle, because if you are on the fence, I can understand why potentially you wouldn't jump in and get the 72-piece collection, but give these a go, and more than anything, I've just heard in my ear that the 72-piece collection is very, very busy. So maybe we are inspiring lots of people today. But what I would say is give this a go, and more than anything, you'll just be so surprised and delighted with how, I can't explain to you, and Craig will back me up here, how light the touch is on that brush nib. It's incredible, and like you say, the flick, the motion that you can get with it allows you to be very expressive, and I think it helps you to get that blend, doesn't it, that shade?
It does. But do you know what, Ben? When it comes to being so busy, I think it's me giving you the top tips, but I think it's you that's inspiring everyone at home, seeing what you can do. I think you're the one that's encouraging people to actually buy them because you're following my tips and they're getting that result, which you'll get at home as well.
No, certainly. Oh, thank you. But I think, again, it's just having the... I hope more than anything, obviously Craig is an expert in his field, right? And you're going to learn off Craig. You're going to pick up the hints and tips off Craig. But more than anything, I like to have a go at doing stuff because I kind of like to speak to the beginners and the people out there who are like me, perhaps, who are a little bit scared of going, oh, I can't use these. I'm here to tell you that you can do it. And literally all I've done is just followed Craig. I've just listened to Craig, you know, obviously I sit on the shows with him live, but I've just listened to what he says, taken on all of his tuition, all of his, you know, kind of advice, and just, I think it's that attitude of not being afraid. It's colouring at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not nothing to be scared of. It's,
definitely not. At the end of the day, it's only card.
Yeah, exactly right.
What if you waste a bit of card, bit of ink and a bit of time?
Yeah.
You know what, that is it. But I think going on what you said as well, is you're doing it live. It's not as if, Ben, you're coming in on Monday holding that up going, look what I done over the weekend by watching back the show. You guys at home are physically seeing Ben doing it now in front of your eyes within that three-way. I'm speaking to you, giving you with my advice, and Ben's following, of course, with that advice that I'm giving as well.
Yeah.
So you're seeing it in front of your eyes. We even physically stamped it. We physically stamped it.
There's no trickery here.
No trickery.
And it's thoroughly enjoyable. Good morning, Crafty Angie says I'm late because I had to get my workout in. Well, good for you, getting your workout in, always important. So this is a good question. So Carol's talking now about aquas, Craig, which I'm obviously not on the show, but we're happy to chat about them. She said, would you lay the aquas down in the same manner as the alcohols then, like light to dark?
No. Aqua pens are different. You colour them different, you lay them down different, because you can absolutely do different blends. You can do that, maybe you've got a couple of shades of red, you can do it that way. I very rarely do. I usually, with alcohol, with water-based colouring, I'll only use the one pen.
Yeah.
So for instance, let's say a red, I will only use that one red, and then I will blend that out with the water and paintbrush, because if it's too strong, you blend it out with the water and paintbrush, but if it's too light, you just go back into that same red and then you just pick it up and then you go into the detail there. Now, this is when you can then go in with one tone of red, do a little bit of a blend, and then deepen it with the next shade.
Yeah.
But the application of your water base is different from, of course, your alcohol base. The water base, you can do what we've been doing here, you know, watercolour card and waterproof ink pad, that's the two main things. But you can go in and lay the colour down onto your cardstock in the image and draw the colour out. I very rarely, I don't get on that way. I sometimes find it harder to draw the colour out once I've laid it on the card. So what I'll always do is I'll always scribble that water-based ink onto my glass mat or my craft mat, and then I will dab my paintbrush in water, I'll pick the colour up from my glass mat, then I'll colour the image, then I'll start to blend out, and if I need to add a little bit more colour, then I'll pick up a little bit more of that deeper same colour and then add it on. So it is a different way. What I would say is go back on YouTube, type in aqua pens, water-based pens, master classes, etc., etc. when it focuses on watercolouring. I'm trying to think though, me and Debbie, Nicola, what night was it? Was it Wednesday night? Beautiful Beginnings. Beautiful Beginnings, we done some aqua colouring.
Did you?
So if you go back to Wednesday, well, it was nighttime UK. If you go back to Wednesday, it was Beautiful Beginnings, the last day of the show. Can't remember what part it was of the 2-hour show, but myself and Debbie, I was demonstrating, and we done watercolouring when it comes to the aqua pens, and I used the same stamp as well. So, and actually that's a good tie-in, because you'll have seen what I've done with the Illustrator alcohol pens, and if you go back and watch Wednesday's show, Beautiful Beginnings, I use the same stamp, but I show you how to colour with the aqua pens.
Excellent stuff. I think we're all up to date on the comments and questions. I cannot believe we've got 15 minutes left.
Neither can I.
If you've got, that's flown over. If you've got any questions, I'm sort of done, I think, really.
Brilliant.
There you go. Do you know what's incredible in my mind, though? I really took my time with that. An hour and 25 minutes to colour that in. When you do it properly.
Yep.
And that hour and 25 minutes is just gone in the blink of an eye.
Yep.
So relaxing.
It's so relaxing. It really, really is as well. And what's also good, and this is a massive, massive compliment, Ben, if you put that to a lot of people in the company, they wouldn't think you've done it.
Oh, that's very nice of you to say.
They would have thought that I've done it or the two Debbies have done it. You would think that one of us that are the experts in demonstrating has done it. That is incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Craig Laird.
No, Ben Moseby.
But no, that's been brilliant. I've really enjoyed it. Well, we can... will you get yours? No, you're not going to get yours finished, are you? But
no.
To be fair, you have been showing other bits and pieces and demonstrate. I mean, that is... Look at that. Incredible. Incredible. If you want the full set, I've kind of messed my set up a little bit here because I've been choosing pens from various bundles. What I would say is if you want to be able to do the 3-pen blend that you've seen Craig do, then absolutely you should really try and go for the full collection, because then you can kind of scooch through the boxes and see all of the different pen blends. If you just want to give them a try though, then you're going to go for the beginners collection. But if I just box these up, so that's the natural landscape. So that is all of your greens in there, obviously, all of your browns. You've got some greys in there as well. Just trying to remember what goes in what box here before I get in trouble. Let me show you the boxes and I'll sort this out in a second because it's going to go very wrong. Coastal Seascape, of course, all of your blues in there, lots of different colours of blues, and then you've got like your browns and your tans in there for your your sands if you want to be able to do that sort of beachscape. That one there is your essential illustration. So in that, all about your reds, yellows, greens, blues, your kind of essential colours really. You've got lots of couple of purples in there and a couple of your pinks as well. Then you've also got your urban scape, so that in there is sort of lots of browns. You've got brown greys in there, you've got smoky blue, you've got your, does that say old china? It does. Oh, I mean old china. You've got your mocha, sand and umber in there. This one here is your, oh hang on, I got that twice. Essential illustration, oh no, essential sketching, this one. So that one is suntan, you've got coral, you have got lemon and aniseed, chartreuse and salad, cocktail pink, pink tint, hydrangea, lilac, navy blue and surf blue. And then lastly in that bundle is this one here, which is your portrait and figure. And that again is pinks and browns and tans, all of your different sort of colours, if you like, for skin tone and hair tone as well. So that is also included in the bundle. 72 pens you're going to get for that price of 144, and that is incredible value again, isn't it? 144 pounds, 172 bucks. So if you're platinum and you're in the UK, £2 a pen, which I mean that to me smacks of amazing value for money. And I know a lot of people have already jumped in and bought that, so do feel free to grab. If you want, what are we looking at now, did you say? I haven't got any craft kits, I don't think.
No.
I have got under here, Touch of Sparkle, I've got Bookworm, I've got Crystal Visions, I've got Tonight's Daily Deal, and I've got the paper punches.
And I've got the key.
Have you got the key? The secret. Oh, hang on though. What's that there?
They're at the side. They're on the bookshelf.
Oh, sorry. Silhouette scenes.
Mrs. Patterson, could I have a jam sandwich, please?
I've got silhouette scenes.
It's like the seagulls in the morning, isn't it?
Is that the one Nicola's looking for?
Is that one, the glitter medallions? That one. Now, if you love glitter...
Oh, you're going to shut up.
And you want glitter, this is definitely one to go for this one. £8, $8. is worth all of that glitter alone. All of that, 5, 10, 15, 20 of these. You're getting 20 tubs of glitter. Now, you tell me a store that you can go to for top quality fine glitter, 20 tubs for £8. I mean, even if you were to go for like £1 a tub out of Poundland or Dollar Land or Dollar World, whatever it's called stateside. Dollar Land.
Dollar World.
Wherever it is. The dollar store. The dollar.
I like Dollar Land better.
Pound, you know, well, Poundland, Dollar Land.
Dollar Land.
We are always different in the UK, aren't we? But yeah, so you're going to get all of these glitters, your gold, your silvers, your red, iridescent, chocolate, teals, blues, olives, greens, charcoal, grey, copper, mints, lilacs, fuchsias, all of that are in there.
What was that last colour? Can you just go back?
To go back, what, go back to the fuchsia?
Oh, thank you.
Yes, or we could go into the fuchsia.
Aha!
With the tutorials that you get as well. Essentially, Ben, this is painting by numbers, but with glitter.
Yeah.
So instead of painting, you're glittering each section here. Now, with this one, there is only 2 tutorials because there's two techniques within this booklet here. So what you're then going to be doing is you're going to get a multitude of cardstock, i.e. block colour card. And you are going to be doing a little bit of fussy cutting. So you're going to stamp, say for instance, the mandala onto different coloured card blocks, and then you're going to then just fussy cut them, so they're going to get smaller and smaller as you go. And then each of the individual sections you're going to colour. Now there is a chart, and we'll show you that in a moment, and it's the same with the butterflies. So what you've got is the QR code that will take you to the 2 videos, and there is your charts. So you can see the colour. So that very, well, let's show you the butterfly here, because the front image would be different with that one, shouldn't it? So let's show you that one. That centre body, if you go by the chart, Ben, for that centre body there, you would do within the fuchsia. Then when it comes to that next layer there, you can see you're going to be going in with the different colours. So within that olive there, you've got that as the 4th layer. That's going to be your olive green. Your 3rd layer, that section there, that's going to then be kind of like the teal blues. So you're just following that grid, that pattern. You're then going to be getting your foam pads so that you can layer up each individual section. That's in there. Then what you're also going to be getting is your clear stamps, because that's where you're going to stamp and then cut from. So they're in there. And then you're also getting your card block as well. So this is where you're going to get all of that white card with the grey, the peach, the lilacs, the purple, the mints, the blue, the browns, the red, the tans, the fuchsias, turquoise, highlight red, all of those are in there. So these are the ones, by following that grid, following that chart, stamp them out, different colours of card, fussy cut them out, and then start to layer them up. So you're going to be getting all of that, and of course, let's not forget, all 20 tubs of your different colour glitter for £8. So even if you have no intention in following the actual technique, even for £8 for all of the glitters, the most incredible, well, I'm not going to say smooth, it's not smooth, but fine glitter to then apply to your projects. It's brilliant.
Yeah, crazy value on that. A lot of people in the comments have seen saying like the value for money on that is absolutely insane. £8, $8 for your craft club, the glittering medallions. This one is the Silhouette Scenes craft kit, number 54, when we used to do these back along. And what it allows you to create are these fantastic silhouette designs in there. So you're going to get tons. It makes a minimum of 18 cards because you've got 18 card blanks and envelopes in here. Looks like this one has been used fairly recently, but these are all of your stencils to be able to create the scene, and then you've got all of the stamps in there as well to build up those silhouette scenes. So look, you've got the couple there, you've got fairies, you can create like a little woodland scene if you wanted to, the trees and the foliage there, all of your sentiments in there too. So just for you, follow your dreams with love, happy birthday, make a wish. And then, I mean, the value for money, for, again, £8 for all of this, what you are paying for the consumables is ridiculous, really. You've got 3 lots of ribbon, 3 colours, you've got satin ribbon, and then you've got the 3 different widths. You've got all of your dewdrops in there as well, so clear dewdrops. If you want to take your alcohol markers to those and colour them, you can. 18 card blanks and envelopes in there too. So again, you will make a minimum of 18 card blanks and envelopes, but if you look after the stamps and the dies which are in there, of course, you'll be creating lots more than that. And then all of your papers, beautiful papers in here. Look at that.
Stunning.
They're beautiful papers. Oh, that reminds me of the Cosmic collection, that one. But some lovely, lovely designs of papers in there. And, of course, not just all of the papers, but we are going to be giving you all of the cardstock to go with it as well. So again, even if you potentially already got this box, you might just buy it again for the sake of the fact that you can get all of the consumables, the papers, the card, the ribbons, the card blanks, the envelopes for that crazy price. The £8, $8 nowhere near just covers that, let alone the stencils and the stamps that you're going to get in that kit. Over 220 elements there for just £8 or $8. Thank you for the comments. Final few comments coming through. Oh my gosh, says Laurie, that club kit is a steal. And Jeannie says, I'm always learning, Craig. Learning from you is so inspiring. I concur. What a lovely show. Thank you.
That's been a really, really lovely show. One, holding my hands up. Before we went live, I was like, gosh, you know, illustration pens, 2 hours. Wow, great show. Loved it. So nice.
We'll be back in just over an hour's time. It's the final fun show of the week, isn't it? Friday Night Live. Tonight, more games, more prizes, more of your pictures. And who knows what we might be showing you in that show as far as craft is concerned. We might just sit in, as I say, just do another hour and a half for colouring, play a couple of games and go home. Sounds like a good show, that, doesn't it?
Yeah. We might have a little bit of a headache as well.
Bit of a headache?
Well, we're not going to film that social video.
Oh, yes. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah, the one that Nicola said no because she thinks we'll hurt herself. So.
Okay, well, we're going to go and do a silly bit of social right now. If we're not back in an hour's time, you'll know it's because we both hurt each other. Don't worry too much, we're professional idiots. We'll meet you back here in an hour's time. Until then,
toodles!